Hello, this is just an unannounced live. I'm going to be doing some blind bag comic book openings I got from Ollie's in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And nobody's in here yet, but I'm just going to be doing a test stream on a vertical live. I got this at Ross yesterday. This is the NECA Dracula from the Turtles line. This is Shredder as Dracula. I thought this was pretty cool. I didn't even know this was Shredder at first. But there he is. I'm not sure if I'm going to take him out of the box. I might do a... If I do, I might take a more detailed review of him. Well, he's pretty badass. Comes with two heads, two other sets of hands, which don't look that much different, to be honest. Well, you got two clawed hands and two plain hands. You got a pet rat in there. It might be Splinter. Another pet rat. It looks like some type of bottle, a big spear. You got a candle. You got what looks like a skeleton head of a dead cat or possibly a rat. That was $16.99. There's the other ones you can get. These are from the like the Universal Monsters. Ross supposedly has all of them. I've never seen a Splinter one. Look at the back of that package. It's some pretty cool box art there. He'll rip you to shreds. Rising from his coffin to dine on turtle soup. Behold the immortal master who reigns in blood. Fear the undead Shredhead. So he's a vampire version of Shredder. I'm going to go into my live here just so I can bring up the chat room. And here's the second item I got yesterday. This is again another Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2, Secret of the Ooze. And this was, what was it here? $19.99. Almost everybody's finding this guy, but really nice looking figure. The Super Shredder would be cool to have if they make him. He comes with some props from the movie, the canister of mutagen, a giant flower. I'm trying to remember if that was the mutagen that made the flower big. Probably. Two sets of hands. And various weapons in there. I also got this last week. I was going to do an unboxing. I went to see Spider-Man on the Tuesday night. This is the Target exclusive Brand New Day Hulk. Pretty heavy figure. Move that back a little bit. I might be opening and reviewing him in the near future. And I also got the Punisher, but he's kind of behind stuff right now. Anyway, the whole reason for this video is I went to Ollie's in Harrisburg and got a bunch of blind bag comics. So I got 4 packs. I like this one. This is a #1 issue of Ninja Turtles Black, White, and Green. There's a What If. There's a Marvel Fanfare. I'm going to open up this one first. Sometimes you get some good ones in here, sometimes it's a lot of duds. They charge like $6 for a pack of 5, but I miss the days when I get a pile of them for $1. Hi April, thanks for stopping in. I'm just doing some blind bag comic book openings. So these are pretty good condition. There's the first one. This is Marvel Fanfare number 15. I'm not sure why it says $4.99. This must be a reproduction because the original would have been like 75 cents, so that has to be fairly new. But it has a nice Sting cover on it, and on the back you have Johnny Storm. Alright, so the first mystery comic out of there is Ultimates number 11. And I might try to do a TikTok live in the future and maybe auction some things off. That has Thor and what's her name? Escaping me. Hi Aiden, thanks for stopping in. Alright, next mystery comic out of that bag was Ahsoka number 7 from Star Wars. That might be a good one. And the next mystery comic is a retailer incentive Star Trek number 7. That looks like it has Deep Space Nine in it. I'm not really into that, but somebody might want it. Then you have a variant edition of Devil's Reign number 1. This is when Elektra became Daredevil. So that might be a good comic to have. Alright, opening pack number 2. Try and be careful not to hurt the comic books using an X-Acto knife. And I already trimmed off one of the pieces on the side of this Outsiders comic, but yeah, I don't really care for it. Alright, so the first one in there you already saw. This is a supersized Marvel annual that came out like once a year. This is X-Men from 1988 during the Evolutionary War. This guy here was in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but in the comic books he looked different. He's the bad guy that was, torturing all the animals and trying to evolve them. Next one is DC Comics Outsiders number 5. You see I got the X-Acto knife on there. I don't know if you can see that. Oopsie. This is probably one of those packs I don't know any of these. Never heard of that. Dark Blood number 1 by Boom Studios. That looks like a vampire comics. That might be an interesting read. Prince Valiant number 1 from King Dynamite Comics. Never heard of it. Somebody might want it. And this is, I guess this is a comic. It feels more like an ad. It feels like newspaper quality. It's only about 15 pages. Planet Death from New Dimension Comics. Alright. On to bag number 3. If there's anyone still in chat, let me know what your favorite comic book is. So this one I wanted, this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, black, white, and green. This was $5.99 when it came out, so I've only paid $5 for the whole pack, so that's worth it right there. Here's another #1 that was in there from the grab bag. Venom #1, Separation Anxiety. That was $4.99 when it came out. I'll have to look up the value of those later. There's another retailer incentive Star Trek comic. West Coast Avengers #1. Another #1 issue. That's cool. You got Iron Man, War Machine, Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, and if anybody knows who that guy is, I'm not sure who that is. Then I have a Godzilla War for Humanity #1 from IDW Comics. So that bag was pretty good pulls. I think there was all #1s in there. Of course, they're probably packaged like that on purpose. And in my last bag, alright, first one is What If Venom. So the cover looks like Venom took over Moon Knight. So yeah, the story is what if Venom bonded to Moon Knight. So that looks like a pretty cool read. You see in there, you have Venom bonded to She-Hulk. He tries to bond to Doctor Strange. And then by the end of the comic, he bonds up with Moon Knight. Okay, so the next one is Ultimate Black Panther #10. Variant cover. That was $4.99 when it came out. X Factor #7. It looks like a Doctor Doom variant with Doctor Doom taking over the body of Angel. That looks kind of cool. I don't know if the story's actually about Doctor Doom, but I think it's just a variant cover. Here's a big thick one in here. The Best of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Old Hob. This is actually a graphic novel. This was originally $8 when it came out. That looks like a pretty good one. I got my money's worth there. Has a couple different stories inside. And then this is a Star Wars comic. Darth Vader #46. I don't have too many Star Wars comics, but somebody might like that. Alright, so that is it for my blind bags opening. So, about 20 different comic books there. If you have Ollie's in your area, they're getting a lot of them in lately. A lot of #1 issues. You get 5 comics for $5.99, which, depending on what you get, might be worth it. I'll look them up on eBay later. Not much else to show you right now. I can show you my toy room and collection area. So these I just got at Ollie's yesterday. These are the recreations or reproductions of the turtles from the 80s with their shells open to weapon storage. Those were $7.99 a piece at Ollie's. And that's going to be some of the last that Playmates has produced because they just lost their license. I think Mattel's taken over. And these are going to be some of the last McFarlane Batmans because Mattel's also taken over the DC Comics. This one I found at Walmart behind a bunch of movies. That one I got at Target. That one I got at Walmart for $9. That one I also got at Target. And I just have some various He-Mans up here. There's some Transformer blockies. I'm slowly just decorating this room, but it's almost full. There's Ultra Magnus. He's my favorite Autobot. I got some card-back G.I. Joes lined up there on the wall. And I have a couple Star Wars. Most of these I found at Ollie's. Except for this I got off Amazon, this 3-pack. You got Darth Vader, Thrawn, and General Grievous. These I found at Ollie's one day. There's a Christmas Mandalorian. And over here I have some Transformers. These are the most recent cardback releases. And these are Legends Clash from a few years ago. That Gears is really hard to find. Right now I'm into collecting He-Man a lot. So there's Beastman, Samurai He-Man. It's crazy they made a figure of that and he was only in one episode technically. A couple other He-Mans up here. I have a Lion-O that lights up. If you check my videos on YouTube, I think I made a short of that. And then all these canvas arts I got at Ollie's. There's a CRT TV I play retro games on. There's a joystick. I have about 1,000 games on that. And a friend gave me these 2 arcade 1-up cabinets. I'm thinking of modifying this one by putting a different motherboard in it. Might put some more games in there somehow. And there's a little alien from Gray Alien Gaming. I have like a Gray Alien Gaming YouTube channel, but I'm mostly just using Totemus TV for now. Little Pac-Man toy. There's Weird Al Yankovic. My favorite comedy. I've been listening to him since I was 8 years old in the 80s. And I have some other toys up there. And then my other room, and the other room has a bunch of more stuff. Yeah, that's it for now. I'm just doing a test live. I don't go live on YouTube much, but I'm going to try to do it. I have a bunch of G.I. Joes. Some more He-Man stuff down there. I think I just got this She-Ra off Walmart for $7. And I just got this off Walmart for, I think, 15 bucks. Haven't taken him out yet. That's Mumra Skeletor crossover. There's a Nemesis Prime. Alligator Con. See what's in here. Oh, that's a thrust. I got this for 17 bucks off Target on eBay. Rather than going to Target.com, if you go to Target store circle deals on eBay, they have stuff that's even cheaper. Remember, I had this before and I sold it for $81. I turned around and bought it for 17. There's some more blockies over here. There's a Rodimus Prime in his truck. There's another variant of the Matrix. And there's some Marvel Legends back there. There's the Elektra Daredevil as we saw in that issue 1. There's some more He-Mans up here. Now some of these things will be selling like this Little People. I might sell that. And these Transformer Sonic the Hedgehogs. And I have some more posters over here. Here's a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. I think it's worth about 35 to 40 bucks. Yep, there's my little gaming man cave. And so I've been into TikTok auctions lately, which I was kind of cautious about doing, but I got some really good deals on there. I'm gonna put these comic books down here in a minute. I got plastic all over the place. But one of the TikTok deals I got, I got this Keychron K4HE wireless magnetic switch keyboard. Now what's nice about these is the magnetic switch you can adjust in the software. So if you're like pushing down a button very lightly, it gives you a little bit of an advantage in PC games where you can move your character very slightly. Or you could set it to rapid fire. So I'm going to unbox this here right now and take a look at it. Maybe even try to hook it up to this computer. I have multiple computers here, but this is the one I'll primarily use for streaming. This monitor back here is actually a drawing pad, which I can do artwork on it. So this keyboard goes for about $150 on Amazon, and I got it for 25 bucks off a TikTok auction. So that was, I'm like, I can either flip it and get triple my money back, or I can keep it. And since my primary keyboard is on the fritz lately, I might just keep this one. But it is heavy duty. It's made out of real wood and aluminum, so it's high quality. So the magnetic keys are what's known as Hall effect, which the magnetic sensors, like I said, are very sensitive for gaming. You can go into the software and adjust how sensitive they are. So, like, for example, if you bump the keyboard, it doesn't type because it's not turned all the way up. You can use on Bluetooth up to 3 different computers at once, which is crazy. Nice shiny logo. Take the lid off here. Got a quick start guide. And they gave me some cool stickers. And you can replace these switches like a mechanical keyboard. You can buy key sets. So that's nice. User manual. This is probably just a cable. It is a wireless Bluetooth, but you can also use it as there's some extra keycaps. There's a keycap remover, screwdriver, and if you don't want to use a wireless, there's a cable. And of course all the Bluetooth dongles. But I'll have to test it out later playing Fortnite or Marvel Rivals or something like that. Yeah, this is pretty heavy. Wow. This feels like a brick. Alright, here it is. The side's actual wood with nice wood varnish on it. Not very loud keys, but like I said, they are magnetic electrical. So it's a nice creamy sound. Hard metal, aluminum. I'll try to hook it up here quick. Just give me a moment. So it comes with a USB-C. That's plugged in. And I got it plugged in. And it also has LED lights with software you can use to change about 40 different settings. So, just going to test it out here in a moment. Yeah, really nice keyboard. So I'll be testing that later when I'm playing some games. So that's the Keychron series keyboard. Some of these go for about $300, but if you can get into those TikTok auctions, the guys I got it from were Bid Empire. They had some more expensive than these that people were buying for $40 and they retail for 300. This is one of the more simpler ones and 96% in size, but I think that's perfect for gaming or office work. And like I said, these keys can come off, so you can buy different key sets. You can program this to just give certain keys certain colors. That's my unboxing for tonight. I've been on here for about half an hour. So thanks everyone for stopping by, and I'll try to do another live stream maybe on TikTok next time. Alright, have a good evening.